Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't, driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
To know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
and you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here, we do.
We're different here. We don't just get up for another day. We rise. We don't just work. We endeavor. We're women and men for and with others. We have hope, we believe, and we celebrate. Why are we different?
So we can be the difference.
Hello everyone and welcome back to EGF SSBU. We are back for week 14 of the EGFC regular season. My name is Soy. Joining me for the first match of the day is Dill, our producer. Dill, how's it going?
Hello. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. We have some nice matches coming up to like close out the season. Starting off with DePaul versus Marquette. DePaul taking their first loss last week the entire season, and we'll see if they're all gonna bounce right back.
Yeah, they are now 12-1. They lost last week to Colorado in that very close matchup. This week, they're looking to bounce back against Marquette, who is 5-8. This is one of the last couple weeks of in-conference play for a couple of these schools. Remember, those conference games do matter for the conference playoffs down the line. DePaul, they're still vying for possibly the number 1 overall seed. They have locked in a playoff spot for the national bracket with 12 wins to their name. They are going to qualify. It's just a question of what seed will they end up at. Marquette, they are right in the thick of things in the playoff race at 5-8. If they win out, they could still sneak in, but they're likely going to need some help to do so. So they could really use another upset victory if they can pull one off. But DePaul, I mean, it's as tough as they get going up against the Blue Devils.
Yeah, you could hope maybe that DePaul's suffering some poor morale from last week, but judging from their experience, this is not exactly who Marquette might be hoping to go up to in these vital last few matches.
If you look at Marquette's schedule remaining after this, they get Sacramento State, who's one of those teams that is new to the EGF, so their wins are a little bit more impactful because of the way the tiebreakers work. Remember, it is win percentage first in this league as a tiebreaker to account for some of those new teams to give them a shot at making the playoffs rather than just total wins in general. So they've got 8 games to work with instead of 16. And after Sacramento State, Marquette go on to play William and Mary, who is another roster that we've seen kind of be one of the titans of the EGF. Last season, they finished top 3. They won they were in a semifinal. I believe they lost to Colorado, if I remember correctly. This season, they are 6th right now in the EGF at 10-3. Still a very powerful roster. So the road to the playoffs, not very easy for the Golden Eagles, but certainly not insurmountable. They have to find ways to get things done. We have seen Marquette pull off upsets in the past. In fact, I believe it was right at the end of the fall split, we saw them get the upset victory over Colorado, the team that just beat DePaul. So we'll have to see if it's sort of a rock, paper, scissors match between these three or not. That being said, game number 1 underway here. Legacy is the cloud you're seeing on screen for the side of DePaul, and Chico is the King K. Rool for Marquette. We've typically seen Chico play characters like Donkey Kong and Bowser in the past, so the King K. Rool, not necessarily new, but certainly in the same facet of characters in terms of tanky and hits like a truck.
Yeah, definitely keeping in it with playing heavy. It's kind of a style, It's not so surprising to see someone playing a lot of them. all of them a little bit can struggle in matchups like Cloud, just because, you know, big hitboxes, big juggling hitboxes can definitely be difficult to find your way down. But that's where, like, already the belly armor has helped him approach once. It's like, what better way to get down onto an opponent than just come in with armor? Like right there. The Legacy did not even bother challenging it, because you kind of have to figure out your plan for how you're going to stop a move like that.
That will be the first stock off the board, thanks to the up smash of Cloud, punishing the missed dash attack. I did like the idea from Chico, just might have been a little bit slow to it, and Legacy has the lead. That's going to be a lot of damage. I like the idea to try and follow up with the forward air right now, but Chico really struggling to get in on Legacy in the first place. Feels like he's got the right idea to try and punish, but the spacing's just not quite there.
Yeah, like watching him struggle to get in, you can really see why he went for that dash attack. Oh, nice. Oh, and for the taunt. Yeah, no, it's difficult to get in. So when he starts going for those dash attacks, like even if they're punishable, like Cloud's up smash got buffed in one of the more recent patches. It's fast, it's killy. You definitely have to be worried about it. Oh, going for it again, trying to just steal that stock. Couldn't quite get it there, but definitely in a great position for game one right now, Legacy.
He dipped a little bit too far away, and that's going to be another stock off the board, so things, well, relatively even. They both are on the last stock, but Chico certainly his stock being whittled away at, and now we'll have to see if Chico can take advantage of the few miscues that Legacy has made. The back air not going to land either, and that side B just continuing to rack up percent. Limits online. Which move will he use? It'll be the neutral B, but it won't land quite yet. Chico will survive for another moment, and oh, it's only a moment as the up smash connects, and Legacy takes game one.
Yeah, getting a lot of mileage out of that up smash, you know, against a big body, definitely a pretty good tool. Like, it's hard to avoid getting hit by it. Like, honestly, it's just hard to avoid getting hit by it, and we're gonna see that again right here.
Just caught the jump out of shield there, and this is a couple of times, like you said, you got a lot of mileage out of it, but I feel like it was, again, just kind of misspacing by Chico, where he would have an opportunity to try and get something going. For example, right here, tries to dash attack, ends up hitting a shield, and it's just a simple up smash for it. Just right idea, wrong execution.
Yeah, now, what is this? Oh, this is that suicide stock. It's just so rough. Because like in those situations, you don't really feel scared until you realize that your opponent's recovery move actually has a kill you at 0 spike.
I'm actually kind of shocked that you know, when you go for something like that, the propeller usually clanks with something, right? That's usually how King K. Rool gets out of it, is, you know, someone misspaces it, or, you know, doesn't pull off the attack early enough, so they end up getting hit by it, and then it gets reversed on them. So the fact that Legacy was able to come down on top of it, trade so that he doesn't just go straight down with the up B, he instead gets popped back up, but the spike still lands. That's just good recognition.
And there was that stock where, I mean, this is honestly how you feel against Cloud. Like going into the last stock even, it's like, hey, I mean, this was a misplay, clearly, but it's like, this kind of stuff can happen to Cloud. Like, you never feel like you're completely out, because it's scary to get back to the stage as Cloud. You make one read or put him in a bad position. And yeah, then that up smash again was just a really, like, facing backwards back hit. It's just like those big hitboxes you don't really know how to even get around. Oh, it was front hit.
Front hit while Chico is facing the wrong way too, so he doesn't really have a clean out of shield option there to try and punish that. So well done to Legacy for taking game number one stock victory, so they get a point on the board. If they take the next game, they get however many stocks for points there, plus the extra 2 points for winning the set. Now, it is worth noting, Legacy, he is one of the newer players to DePaul, but he's been very good, 2-1 so far this season, and his wins have been, well, massive point swings. I believe he's gotten 5 or 6 points in at least every single set that he has won. His one loss, actually, I believe, came it wasn't last week to Colorado, it was the week before that, but he's had a very strong kind of opening to his EGF career, whereas Chico, he has had kind of his ups and downs, but that is kind of the way of the heavy characters that he's played against. 4-7 on the season, and a lot of those matchups can be very tough. He's been counterpicked a lot of the times. So to open blind with Chico, I like the idea, but this King K. Rool, you saw it tended to struggle a lot in that first game.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely just like a tough matchup for K. Rool. Like, you know, it's this thing, like when you play a lot of heavies, sometimes the counter pick coverage isn't exactly what you might be hoping for. Yeah, but I mean, game one's really off to a good start. Like, he's ledge trapping him pretty effectively with some of these forward airs. Oh, there's that up smash, but he doesn't get it. And like, that's another, like, a good point of like, you see Legacy getting all this mileage out of the up smash, and then you watch him whiff it, and it's pretty safe. You know, like on whiff, you don't really, okay. Well, there he gets shield grab for it. But like, if you're not hitting someone's block, it's over pretty quick. If you are hitting someone's block, if they're not right in front of you, possibly the most they get out of it is a grab or an up smash out of shield themselves. Something that K. Rool does not have.
You saw there that Legacy, or sorry, Chico in the last couple sequences, okay, he'll lose his stock for it, but you saw he used the belly armor. You talked about it early in game number 1, how that belly armor can be used to kind of break through neutral a couple times, and that's how he got all this extra credit onto Legacy in the first place. But things are back to even as Legacy really only lands a couple of hits just to get this back into a dead even game, and the armor coming through again, but Chico kind of not able to punish it cleanly. You can tell Chico's got a lot of the right ideas. He's in the general right place to be, but just can't quite find the right spacing or follow-ups. That's a hard read on the forward smash, but Legacy will be able to get away.
Yeah, keeping someone where you want them to be is K. Rool. It's just not that easy. Oh, I actually really like that use as a command grab. That's one of the first times he's used it this set. It's definitely something that can like catch someone off guard consistently. Because like other than that, it's like, you know, in game 1 also, and like just the belly armor in general. It's like you can never, even if like K. Rool dies for using belly armor like on a dash attack or something, you can never blame a K. Rool player for going for it, because that's just the chances they have to take. You know, they just have to look at a position and be like, I think this is a good time to go for it. You know, you have to make plays one way or another, because if you play the poke out game versus someone with a big sword, it just doesn't usually work out for you.
That being said, so far things even, and that's a good catch too. Legacy was out of options on that recovery, so Chico, with that neutral B, is able to get the kill, and things could be even. Oh, what a huge nair there from Chico. That is a stock gone if that move lands, and there's the limit break the limit break neutral B. I was gonna say cross slash, but the neutral B comes through, and that is a stock for a stock. Legacy is at a very high percent, and King K. Rool, all of his moves hits like a truck, so Legacy's got to be very careful here.
I think he went for the finishing touch there, trying to just get this over with. Yeah, like honestly, as much as we talked about the matchup kind of being a bit of a struggle, Chico has kept a consistent, mild lead this entire game, taking first stock first, second stock first. And then it's like that second stock was a very well-placed cannonball into... Ooh, that is so unfortunate. It can be difficult. That up tilt possibly missed because he did the down throw at the ledge, which means Cloud was actually in the ground closer to him than usual, because there was no ground in front of him.
That poke through shield, that's nearly going to find a way to kill. Chico will have to recover low here, and Legacy's at 177. Really, one move could be the difference here either way. Grab won't land. Those back airs are going to start becoming dangerous. That's another down throw, and that's going to be the up tilt. That will do it, and Chico takes game 2. We're back to a tied set.
Gosh, honestly, after the first time that down throw up tilt didn't hit, that was almost tragic, because like losing to something like that is just unfortunate, because like here this is just guaranteed. This is at 171. Good luck mashing out. Like, you don't stand a chance. So yeah, it's like the fact that they had that like earlier in the stock but couldn't quite seal it off. Oh, it could be really so frustrating if they dropped that, especially having like a clean lead the entire set.
Yeah, air dodge in nearly got punished by the up smash, but Chico got his shield out in time and got that back throw. And that was really where, like you said, the momentum kind of shifted, because Chico, he was able to survive a little bit, get a little bit of extra credit here. And then, yes, he does lose this stock to the dash attack, but I mean, at that point, he's at 165. And any character at above 150 is really just one hit away, or any just strong hit away from dying. So for Chico to live to such high percents as a heavy is very good, because also you get all that rage. And then this was also very clean, recognizing, hey, he's got nowhere to go from here. Yeah,
he really had no options there at all. Like, Cloud was a pretty strict recovery. You don't have anywhere to go. It's like, what angle do you want him to take here? Like, he has to pass through the cannonball or die. And if you pass through the cannonball, he knows exactly where you're going to be. Just like good play, but also very just good anti-Cloud play. You know, really like playing against your opponent's specific weakness.
And then this was Chico losing his stock here, just kind of ran out of time along the ledge. And I thought earlier Legacy was going to opt to recover low, but here's the play. Oh, I see. He actually jumps down. He lets go of ledge and then tries to jump back.
Honestly, being on ledge against Cloud with limit, it's just like, where are you going to go? You just do not have a good option. It's like, okay, you roll and he limit flashes you, you jump. He literally caught a jump. You know, it's just what happens.
2, 1, go!
All right, game 3. And small battlefield, the site once again. He's out without a jump, and that's going to be a spike. Is he going to get reversed? Yes, it is! Legacy answers right back. What a play from both of them. It's a 2-stop game.
That, you know, that's making the best of a bad situation for Legacy there, because it's like, it looked like a very well executed, like, just get him off stage, get the spike. But yeah, no, that's the danger. I feel like he could have retreated earlier to get out of there, and Cloud was probably already dead. But yeah, you die at 0. That's spike, has to be respected. Cloud, Chrom mains, Ike, like, they're all always ready to pull that trigger. They know you can kill them off stage, and they know sometimes the best thing they can do is take you with them.
So with that, both first stocks are off the board pretty quickly. Legacy is working away at this second stock of Chico, who's currently at 156 and still trying to find a way to get in. That Nair will do a little bit of work. No grab, though. And we saw a couple of times Chico use that forward air to get in and just kind of work away at this stock. But the forward air of Legacy will be the one to take Chico's second stock.
Yeah, just jumping over the cannonball and taking a forward air. I feel like Chico was getting frustrated and didn't really respect how much end lag he was putting himself in, because a lot of times projectiles in neutral, oh my god, just run off with the spike. That was... Yeah, let's just head back to that... What is it that... Well, first let's just look at that spike, because that was absolutely the last thing he expected there. Okay, what even is it? Is that forward tilt into the spike? Then it's off Chico's grab, but he goes for a hard read because he's down, and then he pays for it. Like, sometimes you just have to be extremely patient the entire time through. Yeah, just like a back air into a runoff. Didn't see it coming, but you're at low enough percent. A lot of those setups can just work.
And the thing about that down air, too, it hits him from...
Oh my god.
Like, seemingly so far away, because, I mean, that, you know, when you hit the down air, sometimes you can get that kind of awkward off angle that sends you away. So it still ends up to an edge guard if in case it misses. But Legacy there, just smart recognition to go for that move. And then here's the first stock.
I just want to point out the first stock
really
that has the go. That really has. Yeah, this started fast. Okay, so what does he do here? Nice forward air, read to jump. Oh, forward air. Yeah, he really could have gotten out of there. Does he go for a second spike? What is he? Oh, he's going for the back air. Yeah, he's going for a second spike on Cloud just to be showy. Way too happy about taking a stock in 5 seconds, and it really comes back to get him. Because yeah, but this was actually just really nice. Because where does he lose his jump? He gets pushed off, and now he's going to catch the air dodge. But Cloud should still have a jump here. And I'm a little...
Oh, he just doesn't have time. Unless he jumps there.
Oh, that's possibly... Oh, yeah, he jumps here.
Oh, that's his jump.
I would say maybe he thought he couldn't get the kill without getting the second spike. And, like, fair, because I'm watching it happen in slow motion, and I'm not even sure about it. But then you see how low he is, and you're like, oh, yeah, he should have gotten out of there. But, yeah. Oh, yeah, but then...
It's one of those moments, like you were saying, where, you know, if you're Legacy in that moment, you realize, hey, I'm going to lose my stock here. I have to try and at least answer back somehow.
Yeah, it's everyone's least favorite way to die, honestly. Like, getting a reversal is just never fun. But yeah, so this forward air, I feel like is definitely just impatience. Because what is he reading there, really? Like, unless he's going for a crown throw and it's a misinput, it's just like he's hiding under the platform. Yeah, I think it's a lack of respect for Cloud's kill options. Because, like, it doesn't outright kill too early, too easily. But it's like, you're at 156%. You know, what's he going to do to me? I'm a heavyweight. Oh, he's actually going to kill you with his forward air. Like, literally just jump at you and kill you, you know? It's like, he could have done back air. He apparently could do forward air also. Like, when you're at such high percent, the risk reward really starts hurting.
Yeah, and then the risk here was, you know, trying to land that forward smash, and he ends up losing his stock for it. And this is a 2-stock, too, from Legacy. It's just so clean. And I don't think Legacy had really challenged Chico off stage all that much this set, you know, aside from... you know, the down air or the spike of that up B that we saw earlier. I guess from game 1 and the start of this game, we saw him get those 2 spikes. But Legacy here, just recognizing, hey, instantly, I'm going to go for this down air. If I get the strong hitbox, he's dead. If I get the weak hitbox, it's still an edge guard potential.
As far as not going off stage until here, like, a play like this is pretty nice. But at the same time, this is like borderline, like a little bit autopilot. So, he's at low percent, and I can run over and be right on top of him. You go for this. This is like the kind of thing when these schools are like studying each other. It's like, hey, if you're ever playing Legacy and he's playing Cloud and you get back aired at low percent and he's kind of chasing you, be ready for the spike. Because I'm sure he would go for this every single chance he gets it.
Yeah, and it's such a, like you said, it's such a clean opportunity too. Just a solid back air into the down air, and I mean, yeah, no, what I was kind of pointing out was that the down air was something he really didn't use. Like, we'd only seen him spike with the up B to that point, and that's one of those spots that you're in. It's the drop zone, right? It's just run off down air. It's the famous kind of the. What's the word I'm looking for? That's like the danger zone. You look at the danger zones on the map, and you just circle right below the ledge every time for the characters that have that option, because it's just never where you want to be.
I think what's funny about it is Legacy taking advantage of that, because that's a very anti-Cloud thing also, where it's like being at low percent can be more dangerous than being at high percent, you know, because it's like, oh, I can take you off the stage close, you kind of have to pick an option right away. If I make a read, I can intercept, you're gonna die. You know, you don't get to like play the whole drifting game, pick exactly where you want to be. It's just like, you're here, you're forced to pick an option, I can kill you. And then as Cloud, very familiar with this situation, is like, hey, what if you don't know what to do there? And it's like, at those moments where you have the spike that you know you can take advantage of that situation with, it's like, you know, literally making people feel like what it's like to play Cloud there.
So Legacy, he gets the win. That's another 2-stock victory for him in game number 3, which puts our score line at 5-1 in DePaul's favor. DePaul looking to lock in their next player. Looks like it'll be Floral, who we saw at the end of last week going up against Colorado. Floral is the Roy player new to this roster, I believe, as of this split. 4-3 on the season so far, and he's, I think, one of the players that DePaul's put a lot of faith in. You know, one of the things about DePaul last season was that it was really kind of the same starting 5 week in and week out. A lot of teams were like that, where it was, we've got our 5 consistent guys and then maybe 1 or 2 subs. Floral has kind of emerged as that 6th spot, contesting for top 5 on this team in recent weeks. Now, on the flip side of that, Chaos is the Pokemon trainer you're seeing on screen for the side of Marquette. And Chaos has been one of the huge impact players for this Marquette roster. 8-4 on the season, one of the heaviest of hitters. And is he going to be able to survive here? Yes, he is. Floral getting a little bit too greedy.
Yeah, that was a strange exchange. I honestly don't even know how Floral lost his stock, but it was definitely, I mean, he saw blood in the water. He was out there landing hits. He just went too far out. I mean, we'll have to see it in the replays, but, you know, Roy, not a character who ever feels like he's down by too much, you know? Like, we've seen Roy comebacks here. Everyone has gotten hit by a, you know, Roy's side B, as strong as Cloud's limit cross slash on the close hit. If you make a read, you get into position, you are sending them flying. Like, if he wasn't Charizard there, if he was anyone lighter, dead.
You know, 106-2. Chaos trying to find a way to survive. Just, Roy has so many quick kill options, too. Oh, there's the side B, but the last hit doesn't connect. Chaos able to get out and survive for now. Still looking to try and find some extra credit here, but he's on the ledge. Falling up there, I like the idea, but he gets follow up. It's a sour spot. There's the strong hitbox, and Chaos will fall, and things are back to even.
Yeah, no, it's there's always a hard situation. When a player SDs and like you just have to keep playing seriously. You know, like it can really mess with a player's like, ooh, nice jab lock, and then get the forward smash on Squirtle. It's always great to take. Because like, if you get a setup like that as Squirtle, it means you probably didn't take any damage really to like have to transfer off your Pokemon. So it's just always a really good sign. And like as far as the Pokemon trainer like flow from one to the other, like where they are in the match, it's just an absolutely great opportunity to show like, okay, we're like changing the pacing in a way that means, I mean, yeah, it's a way that I'm taking a whole stock up, but because of the way Pokemon Trainer works, it's like Squirtle, you don't usually take a lot of damage as. It just keeps you in a really good position.
This Ivysaur, though, has been putting in a lot of work. I mean, he started this stock off at a little bit of a deficit. Like, after he took that stock as Squirtle, he got comboed, and ever since then, he's been in control of the pace as he's going to find the up smash as Charizard to seal that one away. A 2-stock to answer, and game number 1 goes to Marquette.
That was kind of a runaway game. It was really interesting. You know, I really honestly felt like it was all Floral in the beginning. Well, look at this. Let's see. Why did he go for that side B? I feel like it looked like it was going to confirm also. I was very like, yeah, this is like a good play. Like, he's going to get this. Oh, the back air crosses up. Okay, so the back air crosses up on a parry. That's interesting. So the way shield mechanics work in this game is when you're in a shield stun, you know how you can't pass through someone? If you're in shield stun, you can pass through them. So shield stun or parry. So because Charizard, you know, hits like a big boy with a big tail, you're in a lot of frames of, yes, you can pass through me like fairly easily, which can just be really easy to get past. And it looks like we're actually getting right into the next game. But yeah, that
fast-paced game number 1. That cross-up was, like you said, that you know, it looks like Floral has the right play there and ends up dying for it. And that's how actually, you know, what we saw on the first stock, right? Floral had the aggression in that very first stock. He goes off stage to try and edgeguard Chaos and dips a little bit too far and ends up losing his stock for it. So we'll have to see if he can find a way to battle back here. I will say this Ivysaur on that last stock in particular for Chaos put in so much work. Got Floral up to what, 100 and so %?
Yeah, like honestly, the thing about like that cross up that actually led to something. Like, it only led to something because the Ivysaur got like double up air combos, which are always like a treat to pull off. Like if you're an Ivysaur player, if you're a trainer player, and you switch to the Ivysaur segment of your stock, and you're like, wow, I got an up air into up air. You just took 35%. It's like fantastic because that just puts you in the perfect position for like now when Floral makes that one mistake, that one tiny mistake on, I didn't expect a Charizard to cross me up. It's like you get to die for an up smash.
Charizard's out here. That neutral beat, that's going to clip Floral, and he won't be able to recover from that one. Stock number 1 of this game is off the board, and Kawas is the one to take it. He's trying to find more. Uppy out of shield, won't be able to take the stock quite yet, but look how much damage this Charizard's able to do.
Yeah, that stock, like, when you're upping into a fire, you honestly just have to expect you're going to get hit out of it. That's like a mash up B situation for Floral. It's just something like he has to be aware of. And he didn't mash it again. You gotta just not stop. Like, it's a really difficult, annoying place to be because you don't have a lot of time to react to it. Sort of bringing it back was a landing side B there, but especially if he's gonna not show that he can come back against Fire Breath. That's a consistently replicatable situation that Kawas can create here.
And it's something that, you know, a lot of characters don't necessarily struggle with. A lot of characters, you know, they can kind of tank that Fire Breath and then up B again pretty easily. They don't have to necessarily mash that move to get out of it because just the distance that they have. But Roy doesn't have that luxury.
Yeah, I mean, to Kawas' credit, he's tilting it really far down. Like, he's like actually trying to snipe with the Fire Breath. Like, he's trying to create the situation where it's as hard as possible, you know? Okay, there we go. Floral just instantly going to the up B like he needs to. And landing behind him for a quick forward smash to bring this back. This is always a scary place to be. You can be up 100%. You're fighting Roy with Rage. No one wants to be fighting Roy with Rage. This is one of those lose-lose situations where, like, you feel like it's in your hands, and it's like, okay, you can drop everything here if they make 1 or 2 good reads.
It's a good forward throw, though. Floral has to recover. Uppy's back to stage. That side B will get a little bit of percent on. It's like you said, approaching Roy is very dangerous because just trying to get in on this character, they do so much damage, but that's a grab from Charizard at 130. He mashed out of it. Oh, but he neutral beat, and the dash attack won't take the stock quite yet. He's got to find a way to recover. Once again, mashing that uppy to get out, but that forward throw should do it, and Kawas takes the set.
Yeah, I think something that's interesting is, like, a lot of people, they'll do something like what Floral did right there. Like, he recovered well. Right? Like right here. He recovers well against the side B. And then he kind of mashes forward. Wait, what happens? Doesn't he fall off stage again? Oh, I missed the final replay. Oh, well. I wanted to watch.
This was the second stock, but yeah, no, this was, you know, I will say Floral did a really good job, I think, of adapting. For a game 1 that felt majority Kawas, and the start of this game too, Kawas felt like he had the read because of those 2 neutral B stocks he was able to take. For being down 3-1 to bring it back and make it as close as it was, Floral had his work cut out for him, and you could tell he was starting to get a good read. He just kind of ran out of time because, you know, he starts this last stock off at, what, 90-ish% by the time he gets there?
Yeah, I think it's interesting to note that these Fire Breath gimps, they're still fairly high percent. You know, this is like 90. Like, you could die to a Charizard back air here. It's not like you're dying at 0. It's not like you're dying at 10. But it's definitely not a good spot to be in. Yeah, 70%. Yeah, it's just not a great spot to be in. I mean, you can see what happens is you fall down so quickly. Like, Roy is fast in the air. He's fast to fall. He's fast to go up. And it's like he's just sinking there. So it's like if you're not right spot on, it's not even just that his up B doesn't have incredible distance. It's that it just doesn't have a lot. You know, it's like Roy's not floaty. And not being floaty means you have to react really quick in certain situations.
You know, I wonder on that previous stock if Floral doesn't up B, like he's not mashing up B again because he thinks, oh, we traded, or, you know, because that up B can, you know, clip around that ledge, and so maybe he thinks he sees Charizard going away, and he thinks, oh, I've hit him, I'll be safe, but then ends up realizing maybe a bit too late that he didn't actually grab the ledge before that neutral B traded, or didn't realize it was that it was a trade in the first place. And either way, it did end up being Chaos' set win. This was a good answer. Just, I always say this, so many quick kill options for Roy. Forward tilt, forward smash there. Just so many strong ways, or strong hitboxes this character can throw out so quickly.
Yeah, can we actually just recognize how low of a percent Charizard is here? Because, like, this is actually a lovely little setup in general, because it's a quick cross-up. You feel like Charizard is an extremely fast up smash out of shield. I don't remember what it is, but it is very fast. But Roy's Nair, like a lot of good characters in this game, they're just not negative almost anything at all. And that lets forwards, it leaves them open for a forward smash at 83 as Charizard. Like, that is a very early percent for Charizard to be dying, and he just goes clear off the map. He probably could have died 10% earlier. But, like, that's just the kind of situation. It's like you have to be very aware of your opponent's kill options. Once you start, if you can't make educated risk-reward guesses, you're going to lose stocks where you're not even willing to lose them.
One of those things, too, where great recognition by Floral to get to that part of the ledge in the first place. Like you said, he crossed him up, but Charizard's a big body on a pretty small platform, and he's already kind of on the left side of that platform. So for him to still land on that platform and get his shield up in time, the shield that up smash that you said is very fast, is just a good play by Floral. So that being said, though, it was a little too late for the side of Floral. He ends up dropping both games, so no points for the side of DePaul. Meanwhile, Marquette, they jump into the lead after 2 sets, 6-5, but it's still anyone's game. We still have 3 full sets to play out, and if you are wondering, we do play out all 5 sets, even if it is unwinnable, because we do keep track of those tiebreakers. Round differential, point differential, they all matter down the line when those playoff implications are on the line. And speaking of those playoff implications, and this being an in-conference game between these two, they are both in the Central Conference. Marquette, again, they could really use this upset. I mean, after a fall split where they went 4-4, breaking even and beating Colorado, you felt like this team was on the right path, and then they start this spring split and they drop 4 games in a row. They finally broke that streak with their win last week over Wichita State, but now, because of their, that 4-week losing streak, that was the majority of their conference games. So Marquette, I mean, this is a potential first-round matchup for them if they don't find a way to win this game here against DePaul. But they've kept even so far. We'll have to see how they do. Looks like the players have been locked in. Bobby time being locked in for the side of DePaul to answer to Frud, I believe it is pronounced, from the side of Marquette. We saw Frud, he played Captain Falcon in the past couple of weeks, 1 and 2, and he's kind of had a recent emergence for this Marquette roster. We'll have to see how he does against Bobby Time, one of the most prolific Pokemon trainers here in the EGF. He has been solid since week 1 for DePaul. He is 15-3 all-time in the EGF, and a very successful season. Frod's going to have his hands full here.
Yeah, I almost feel like Bobby was DePaul's just watching Kawas get points and do good with trainers. It's like, hey, we have one of those. Let's just put him in. Let's see. Pokemon trainers coming from the back to take the lead back. We'll see what happens. 15-0 has, I don't know about like playoffs or anything, but has anyone beaten Bobby Time?
No, 15-3 all time, and that's it. And that's just during the regular season. But he actually did drop 1 game this year, although I'm not sure who it was to. He's 4-1 this season, and I believe he actually dropped it to N from Colorado the first time they played, but I'll have to check. Either way, Bobby Time is still very strong in his own right. And Frud, one of the kind of newer names to this Marquette roster, but he's got a lead right now. He's at 126. That's a good parry on Charizard, but the follow-up, the punish, not quite there, and Bobby Time has to be a little bit more careful around this ledge now. He is at 28, and that back air will land, and things are back to even.
Yeah, for all we were saying about Bobby Time being such a big name in this league, it's like Frud started off this game as a really nice neutral air to take that first stock. Took a nice, good lead. Oh, is this... It's hard to come back.
Yep.
Yeah. Going from a lead to losing a stock at high percent to just like getting beaten by those Ivysaur spikes at an early stock. Yeah, just playing from behind now. But I mean, you know, Falcon, just like Roy, there's a lot of characters playing right now who you can never really count out. I'm sure, oh, okay. I'm sure Bobby noticed this from the first stock where it's like he was a little asleep at the wheel for one moment and it's like that nice neutral air came in to like steal his stock away before the first stock even really felt like it had started.
Ooh, that forward smash will land, and Bobby Time will take game number 1 with a forward smash. And that is 2 points headed the Blue Devils' way. And a really, we were talking just moments ago about how Fred had a really strong start to this game. And then Bobby Time just said, all right, it's time to go to work. And quickly the game turned on its head.
Yeah, this is just a situation where Fred, from the angle Fred was coming at, he just didn't really have the positioning to make it to that platform. Like I assume he's holding hard right here. And it's just like, what do you do? He kind of decided, I don't want to go to the platform. But when you make a decision from that far away, and it's like fairly obvious you don't have the platform as your backup, it just like gives Bobby all this time to say, hey, I have a ground coverage option in this forward smash, and I'm not at all afraid to use it.
Yeah, that forward smash just takes up so much space. There's really nowhere for Fred to go once, like you said, he opts to move away from that upper platform. And, I mean, Fred had his moments, right? He took the first stock of this game fairly cleanly. I mean, it's relatively even. Just that was a really good hit there. The second hit in Nair stronger than the first, and just kind of the edge of it connecting. And Ivysaur only at 85 when he gets hit by this.
Yeah, no, it's a strong move. It's offstage. It was a surprise. Like that's the kind of thing that makes you never want to sleep against Falcon. Because I mean, I think that's a really good just characteristic of Fred as a player. Just show like, if you're willing to go back there, if you're willing to just say, hey, what if I am out here and you might die? Because like you need to keep your opponents on their toes like that. And Fred showed that he was willing to do that. So it's like something that kind of you keep in the back of your head, and you know you have to respect them. You never get too comfortable because of it.
Cannon City, the site of game number 2 between these two. And Fred, well, we'll have to see how he responds. Again, had a strong start, but you know, those last 2 stocks, just everything coming up Bobby Time's way. I think it's Squirtle here. Hard to kind of keep pace with him. Does find some stray hits here and there. That was a kind of a strange armor interaction, but Bobby Time is the one in control so far. That's actually going to be the stock. What trade did there to send Fred away?
That was Squirtle's down smash, which is a pretty underutilized move, but I feel like that kind of situation where you trade with it is the situation where like Squirtle down smash tends to shine. That was a really nice up smash on reading the transform there. Bobby Time possibly thought he was high enough, you know, at least not feeling in complete danger. But Fred like reads that small frame miscue and just takes it. And then look, that knee there. I don't even know how he got that, but like this is what happens against Falcon. This is.
Yeah, no, you're right. I legitimately thought the up air connected first, and then you see the electric sparks come flying off of the Ivysaur, and you go, oh no, he's just dead for it, and all of a sudden, both stocks are off the board. Fred's here at 94, so he's gonna have to still find a way to try and come back in this one. Bobby Time not making it very easy. That's the up B out of shield, but it won't kill quite yet. This Charizard's gonna be very threatening though, similar to Roy, just how many quick kill options it has, but it is a heavier body, so Falcon could get some combos here if Bobby Time's not careful. Opts for just the up smash, and now Bobby Time is at 90, and Falcon, he's also got a lot of kill moves in his kit. So Bobby Time pressing the corner here, gonna get caught by the up B. Interesting coverage option there.
Yeah, I mean, this is also Town and City. We have thinner walls than usual. While Frud was in this sort of ledge trapping space. You know, it's like that up B, like that kind of move. Wow, just Bobby going in for the run and up smash. But it's like, you know, just going for clean ledge trapping on a stage like this can be very consistent ways to take stocks. You don't even have to sneak out with like a nair like Frud did before. Yeah, you just like go for the up B. They're at a solid percent. You're going to take the stock. So, yeah, last stocks apiece. Definitely been a very back and forth game. I can't imagine either player feels extremely confident in bringing this.
It is Bobby Time in the lead, though, 65% on Frud, and Bobby Time has been untouched. This is where Frud has to get a lot of work done while this Squirtle is on the field. The Squirtle did so much work in stock number 1. That's an early up B. This is going to be a punish forward throw. I like the idea to use Flood there. Hasn't really gone for that move all that often, and the down tilt's continuing to work away at the stock. That's a jab reset, and he led the roll in with the up smash, and Bobby Time closes out in style.
I'm gonna trust Bobby Time there on that supposedly the forward smash wouldn't have killed, I'm just gonna say. Because, you know, if I was playing trainer here, I would just go for the forward smash. But Bobby knows. And Bobby knows this is the only way he's going to get the kill. And he goes for that small read because, you know, it's like figuring out how to take a hit and converting it all the way into a kill. That's like such a big part of this game. So it's like you have a setup, you have this nice jab block that usually like gives you a great opportunity. And it's like, hey, you know your percent, you know you're on town, you have a high ceiling. It's a little bit short. Falcon's pretty heavy. And you go for the read instead, and you get it. Because how often do people even care what option they pick there? That roll, it's just like, hey, I'm already dead. They're just expecting the autopilot forward smash. You're not even thinking about, wait, can they get a heavier punish on me? Do they even need a heavier punish on me?
Because you get that forward smash for the majority of the time, and so you're already holding in to try and survive it. So that was really smart by Bobby Time. Frud had his moments this game. Like you said, he called out the transformation on the switch to, I believe it was Ivysaur with the up smash. He gets that knee. This knee was so clean. I legitimately thought that was an up air.
Yeah, what even happens? I guess it's pretty clean. It doesn't look all that challenged, and he misses the fair one. That Nair one would have confirmed into that. That's actually just a funny kind of like flowcharty thing. What happens is like you go for the Nair one, you're trying to get your knee confirmed, missed it. You know, let's just go for the Nair. Let's just go for the knee. Let's see if we can get it. And it's like just so happens to be right where he needs it. But yeah, oh yeah, so there's that down smash.
Like you said, a move we rarely see from Squirtle. Oh, it traded with Nair.
It also starts in front of Squirtle. He did not turn it around. This is... yeah. Usually, you're doing it away because you want it to have back hit to be safer. So the fact that he's going for it, and, you know, he's trading with the Nair... Frud is actually jumping up earlier than Bobby Time's anticipating, but because he goes for that Nair, it kills. But why does it send him out? You know, it's just sometimes characters work in ways that are just good for the character, you know? It's like, yeah, it's going to hit him out, you know, just in case it trades, even though it's hitting to the left. I feel like this is just like, you look at these percents, right? This is like one of the high tension of the game. They're both at kill percent, and Bobby Time just says, hey, what if I just run in and do it? No fear. Literally running into him for a half second there. Just tired of the tension, wants to take a lead. Just grabs it for himself.
Yeah, and you saw there Frud too. He was willing to play more neutral, trying to run away, but got caught by the up smash. The up B here, like you said, very smart, just saying, hey, this is going to cover a lot of options here, and it's going to kill if it lands, so why not? And
yeah, this is...
Frud was able to even things back up.
Just Town and City, 145. Pretty, like, just a strong percent. Like, I actually really love what Bobby's doing here, because he's being purposely ambiguous about this air dodge, because neutral air dodges you get to move around. So generally, you just look at it, it's like, hey, he's doing a neutral air dodge. Is he going to land on the platform? Is he going to go past the platform and go back to the ledge? You know, he's there's a lot of things that could happen off very minute movements there. Of course, none of that matters. He just landed on the stage, and the up B gets him. But still, like, Fred does not know what's happening there. He is absolutely going on the, hey, he might land in front of me. I think he might land in front of me. Just be consistent, grab the kill. If it whiffs, it's okay. Honestly, if he landed on the platform, he would still have coverage. So that's like one of the great ideas for like why that up B is a good option. And yeah, probably what you were saying about the DI in preemptively, just like baiting the roll. Because like I was thinking, why do you think Bobby Time assumes people are going to roll in? And it's definitely that DI in. Into a nice little taunt. Very, after a hard match, Squirtle very happy. Here we go. What a good game.
Yeah, Bobby Time certainly happy about that one. Got the one stock victory there in game number 2. So a bunch more points headed to Paul's way. As you can see, the current scoreline 6-10. Still anyone's game with 2 sets remaining. And by the way, I looked it up. This win puts Bobby Time at 5-1 on this season in particular. That one loss came when they played Quinnipiac back in the fall split. He lost to Grit, the new Bowser Jr. player of that Quinnipiac roster. So that is his only loss so far this season. But I mean, aside from that one scratch mark, and that was in a game where DePaul got a heavy lead. I believe it was the 4th set of that match, and DePaul had already secured the win over the Bobcats. Either way, this is why Bobby Time is so scary to go against. His wins, they aren't just wins, they're staple victories. They are momentum boosters. I mean, if you're on the side of DePaul right now, you got to be feeling happy if Bobby Time is able to land a read like that to close out an impactful set.
Yeah, I feel like, DePaul definitely, they go into these sets expecting to do well. It's like, they're down against Marquette by 1 point. What can they do to put themselves back where they feel like they belong? Just like throw out one of your anchors, just like make sure it's solid. I don't know how much of it might have been counterpicking. Maybe Bobby Time's really into the Captain Falcon matchup, just because, honestly, that game 1, going for those double spikes, oh my god, sometimes you can have a lot of fun picking on Captain Falcon.
Yeah, and you could tell, too, Fred was especially in that game number 1, the double spike, he tries to up B the opposite direction, just to try and change something, because he knows if it happens again, it's just death anyway, so, there's nowhere really for Fred to go in that moment. That being said, I mean, you can tell Fred is doing a lot of things really well. He's keeping all these games very close. Despite him being now 1-3 on the season, the losses are all only, 1 stock apiece or so. But, still some room for improvement on his part. Match number 4, or round number 4 between these two. You're seeing the Yoshi versus the Pyra Mithra. I'm going to assume that Yoshi is on the side of Marquette, and that's going to be Dewizar for the side of the Golden Eagles. This Pyra Mithra
is absolutely a button check.
Yes, this is a button check, as you are seeing, but the Pyra Mithra, I'm going to be honest, we haven't seen a Pyra Mithra for the side of DePaul all season long, as far as I'm aware. At least I have not seen those notes. So I'm curious to see who's opting to play that.
Cookie versus that Spencer.
Ooh, okay. Interesting. Those are not typical characters for either of those players. Maybe just Cookie is. It could just be for the button check, but. Cookie and Spencer, so the characters those players typically play, Cookie, we've seen Bayonetta in the past, but most recently and throughout the vast majority of this season has been going Min-Min. And Spencer, on the flip side of that, we've almost seen exclusively Ness, except for I believe one time, maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago, he switched to Palutena. So we're likely to see either a Ness versus Min-Min. Yeah, as you said.
Exactly as we expect.
So Ness versus Min Min, Spencer the Ness, Cookie the Min Min. And these are two of the heaviest hitters per roster. Cookie is so far undefeated this season, although he hasn't played every single week. He is 4-0. And Spencer, on the flip side of that, he has typically been the anchor for Marquette for a lot of the weeks, in particular through the fall split. And Spencer is 8-2 on the season.
Yeah, no, I feel like sometimes your anchor, you know, it's like if you're down 4 points like Marquette is in the fourth match, is your anchor not just where you need to keep it in, you know? Like, why even save an anchor for the last game if you've got to keep yourself in the scoreline, you know? Because, like, Marquette's, like, just fighting for their life at this point.
They are indeed fighting for their season right now. At 5-8, they need these wins, so Spencer going to have to try and get it done here against Cookie. He's got a stock lead. Cookie is starting to work away at this stock, and Ness is at 102 here. Good timing to get around that ledge trap, but the up smash there from Cookie out of shield will take the stock.
Yeah, it was a really nice up smash. I feel like that was on a landing Ness snare, which is definitely not that unsafe. I feel like he must have read the jump, which is, you know, it's kind of an interesting position. You feel like, okay, I have this good pressure, I'm Ness, I'm doing this, but it's like, now you're on the tiny PS2 platform. You can't really roll here. You could go down through the stage. Oh my god, that pressure.
I can't believe he held that down smash for so long, and he got the parry and it still hit, and Cookie ends up losing his stock for it.
Yeah, Ness has a few fun little gimmicks with holding yo-yo for an absolutely too long of a time. I don't know if that necessarily was any sort of setup or just, you know, just holding it on his block and he doesn't know what to do. Ooh, that is a very, yeah, that jab block from Ness is very frame perfect if I recall. So unfortunately he couldn't grab it, but it probably wouldn't have resulted in a kill. But Ness, you know, Ness can really make things happen off stage. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, he's going to go off here because Min Min does not have a bunch of too many options. If he intercepted that up B tether, like, it's just over for Min Min at any percent. God, Cookie getting a lot of mileage out of these up smashes.
The up smash taking both stocks off of Spencer so far, but Cookie is at 113. You're seeing Spencer try and edge guard this Min Min, trying to catch that tether recovery, and the back air is actually going to end up taking the stock. Surprised to not see any kill sparks there, but it does get the job done, and Spencer takes game one.
Yeah, no, that was definitely bad DI on that back air. Let's see what actually happened. Oh, literally caught him running through him. Oh my god. So yeah, he's dashing right. Like, there is no questions about that DI. Because he's actively holding right. You do not see a skid, you do not see a button being pressed. He is literally just running.
And the back air connects, and that's kind of the strong hitbox too of that back air. And Cookie losing game number one. Spencer did, I think, a really good job. I mean, look at the percent differential on that first stock. Cookie, for Min Min, a character that controls stage very well, couldn't really track down Spencer all that easily. Adapted a lot more as the set went on, but that first stock made this look very difficult at first.
Yeah, there we see where, like, you land with some pressure on a PS2 platform, and you're safe, it's fine, but you don't have a lot of places you can go, which means you see this nice read on the jump, and take your first stock with the up smash.
3, 2, 1.
Game number 2, Final Destination, the stage of choice for Cookie here. Remember, if Spencer takes this game, he gets the extra 2 bonus points towards his team for the set. So Cookie trying to mitigate that, trying to get some more points on the board and not pin it all on that 5th and final set. Good roll around there from Spencer, and he once again has a big early lead here on this first stock.
You know, I am unbiased, but if I find out which one of them actually picked environmental noises, there might be a villain right now. Yeah. But still, good first stock from Spencer. Really, honestly, showing that he has really good control over the set. This is like honestly what Marquette needs to stay in this match. Will we see DePaul actually lose 2 sets in a row? Because this is actually really looking possible, especially with what Bobby Time and like Floral, who they really anchored with last time. Cookie now losing a set. They're really burning through a lot of their top players.
Now, only a handful of the roster from last year are still, available possibly for that 5th slot. That Nair going to take it. That Nair, a big one, as Cookie, you could tell. He's starting to struggle. Oh my goodness, that's going to be the catch of the up B, and Spencer answers back almost immediately and has a full stock lead here in game number 2.
This is a great spot for Spencer to be in. Yeah, there's just not that much else to say about it. It's just, this is exactly where he wants to be.
This is the percent, has a stock lead, trying to work away at this percent. Caught the tether recovery. Is Cookie dead here? He might be. I don't know if that up B's going to make it. Yeah, he's going to air dodge away. Spencer with a 2-stock victory in game number 2, taking care of business, and it's going to mean that Marquette will have the lead entering the 5th and final set of this matchup.
Yeah, and going into it with a 2-stock is actually really a great way to finish that for Marquette. What was game 1? Was that a 1-stock or a 2-stock?
It was a 1-stock, I believe, and this was a
2-stock on Cookie's
2-stock
counter
victory.
Pick. Yeah, it's just all this forward air pressure off stage. There's just not a lot Min can do about it. Those elongated hitboxes from Ness. It's just what do you do in that situation? You feel like, you go FD as a counter pick because you want to take control of it yourself. You want to like keep things moving, but the same thing just can happen right back to you, and it is difficult.
And the other thing to note there is that we saw in game number 1 how many times Spencer went off stage and couldn't connect those forward airs, right? He knew that tether recovery was susceptible to a lingering hitbox like forward air, like Nair sometimes, but he could never find the right spacing. Cookie was always able to snap around it, get around the up B, get around whatever hitbox Spencer was throwing out. Right there, Spencer finally figures out the spacing and ends up, stopping that snap to ledge and sealing away the game with it.
Okay, so it looks like for our final match, we're going to have Matt Beach, captain of DePaul, up against Dweiser. So what is that? Yoshi versus, I forget. I don't recall who Matt Beach plays.
So Matt Beach, we saw all of last season him play Mega Man, but we did see last week, I believe, and in previous weeks in the past, we've seen Kazuya and one-time Pac-Man. But I think I'm expecting to see either the Mega Man or the Kazuya here for that 5th and final set against Dweiser from Marquette, the Yoshi player that was a new addition to this roster. We also did see Dark Pit from him once, but almost exclusively Yoshi this season. 5-4 is his current record. As you can see, the scoreline here, Marquette, they've got the lead, the 2-point lead here, 12-10. With a 2-point lead, it is really all on this final set. Well, or sorry, 1-point lead. Math is hard. But the point here is that really any option is on the table, right? Depending on how these games go, that point differential could shift a lot, but that 2-point victory at the end of the day is really going to kind of be the difference maker in this score line. Unless you get something like a 3-stock on the board, a tie is really few and far between, and the way these two teams are playing, I doubt something like that will be the case. All of these matches have been very close, 1-stocks, 2-stocks, so it is a pivotal moment here for both of these teams. Again, DePaul, they are looking to try and stay on top of the EGF. They currently have the tiebreakers to get them first place, but Marquette is looking to try and pull off the upset. Dwysar on the Yoshi. Matt Beach opting for the Kazuya and getting a whole lot of percent here early. 88 on Dwysar right now.
Yeah, I was a little concerned seeing the Kazuya coming out, because it's like, you know, it's a newer character. Like, even if you're confident in him, like, do you know the Yoshi matchup as Kazuya? You know what I mean? Oh my god, a very commanding first stock. From that forward smash, it just does so much damage to that, that electric wind into the up B, just taking the stock, just like off of a few conversions. You get their percent up really high on the first one, and then you get it, and you get them in position for the finisher. Oh my god, yeah, that kills. Arguably, you know, I don't want to say too early, because Yoshi's a big dinosaur, and yeah, this is
looking tough for Dwysar, to say the least. I mean, 2 stocks off the board. It's only been about a minute so far, and Dwysar, I mean, this is the first real kind of action he's gotten this stock. He's gotten a few combos here, but he's still looking to try and take this first one off of Matt Beach. It's a good forward air. Up B will land as well. Okay. But that recovery, great nair. Is he out of options? No, he'll be able to air dodge back to stage thanks to that laser connecting. But the down B, that should take it. Matt Beach, he dies at 180%. But that's what it's going to take to get the job done here. Dwysar is climbing Everest, essentially, trying to make this comeback happen.
I did really like that Dwysar went off with that soft neutral air. It really just shows that he's willing to go for what he needs to go for. And, like, when you're down 2 stocks, you really need to make it count. Oh, that is... Oh, not a guarantee. I'm not sure what happened, but, like, when you get that setup where you get them on the platform, typically you're just dead. But yeah, I think Dwysar has shown that he knows what he needs to do, but just like possibly just not that experienced in Kazuya matchup, because like something like that laser, him getting back for landing that, like that should be such a clean position for him to take that stock. Instead, just getting sniped by such a slow projectile. But Match Beach picks it up with that. I don't even know what move that is, honestly. But he's taking a shallow lead, up by 1 point now. For DePaul, 12-11 with that 2 stock.
Solid win for him. I mean, like we said, right off the start, Matt Beach, he had a game plan and he executed as Dwysar. I mean, it can't feel good starting a game, losing 2 stocks in the first minute of the action.
It's actually interesting that before Matt Beach took that first kill, the same kind of situation happened on the platform, where usually this converts into a stock for Kazuya's. But I'm not really sure what's going wrong. Oh, he pushes him off with his body. Because, yeah, if you have the guaranteed tech chase situation there, usually it kills. We'll see if Matt can recognize this for the next matches. Because maybe it's just something about Yoshi's Hurtbox, or just that Stadium's platforms are really small. But that's likely what happened on the other stock also, but we might see that in a minute. But yeah, still gets the conversion pretty quickly. Now, let's see this forward smash. Oh my god, the clip starts at 0% Endweiser. This is a 0 to death segment. 42%. Oh my god, Dweiser going for the egg lay. And just... That doesn't even look like a tipper. Come on.
Here's the thing, too. That kills at 40... But as you said, Dwysar going for the neutral B there, that's both of his last stocks taken because he went for that move. If you look at the last stock too, he was trying to get that neutral B off in time, and Matt Beach's move was just a bit faster. And I mean, Kazuya, this character, as you're seeing, can kill absurdly early if given the right opportunity.
You know, Kazuya is definitely a threat. Like, you know, we've been talking about these fast characters, Roy, Falcon, like they're always behind. Nothing really screams comeback potential like this. Like, wow, you're about to die at 42% after a small combo for some reason took you to 42%.
Yeah, I mean, this game, I mean, right off the start, it was Matt Beach's. And like we said, if it's going to take till Matt Beach is at 180 for stocks to get taken, Dwysar is certainly at a deficit here. Game number 2 underway, small battlefield, the site. And really, this is a world of hurt here for Marquette. They've got to find a way to take the next 2 sets to keep their playoff chances alive in this one. They aren't necessarily out if they lose, but they will need a lot of help if they do. And Matt Beach looking to make it so, looking to try and keep the Blue Devils on top of the EGF right now as he takes the first stock off the board. Dwysar still trying to rack up some combos here, still trying to get some percent, still trying to get Matt Beach to those dangerous percentages. But look at how carefully, I mean, Dwysar is taking his time here, but he's running out of it.
The thing is, like, I was kind of hoping it would be a slower paced match, because it's like, you know, if you don't know everything Kazuya can throw at you, be safe, you know, be cautious. But, you know, Matt Beach took that first stock pretty early, and probably only about 40 seconds. It's like, it's just difficult to play tit for tat with Kazuya, because if you don't know exactly what to avoid, like, you know, he's glowing red right now, he just has to press Z and he does 50 damage. But he brings it back with an up tilt and an up air, solid Yoshi, 2 stocks to 2 stocks. Let's see if this slowing down can actually stop him from getting killed when Kazuya gets some damage on the board.
You're seeing right now Dwysar doing a really good job of juggling. Just those up tilts are doing so much work, but ooh, that's a huge break out of the combo there for Dwysar. That could have been a lot of percent. It still could be. Oh, the follow-up? No, he doesn't get it. And he gets out once again. Matt Beach not quite able to connect, and the jab reset. That up B, that actually connects. That should be the stock, I believe. No, he's going to be able to air dodge back in time. That's a huge survivable moment there for Matt Beach.
I think Dwysar was too looking for the laser. Because, like, that's the kind of situation where you just want to be floating with a nair at the ledge, you know? Because Kazuya, once you really understand what he's doing on ledge, you can take advantage of it. Hopefully Dwysar catches on to that quickly, because, like, you have to make those stocks count. He is up, though, but, like, if he can actually steal those stocks every time Kazuya is off stage, making him as scared as him. But yeah, oh my god, just a run up and down smash. Oh my god, they keep going up by 1 point apiece. Now 13 to 12 with a 2 stock right back.
So the difference maker that I noticed in this one, the up tilt combos for Dwysar were really clutch. Not only did they continually rack up percent and keep Matt Beach in the air, which is, I think, typically where those Shotos or Street Fighter characters or you know, characters like Kazuya that always face your opponent, they're not necessarily all that good in the air. But number 2 is that we saw time and time again Dwysar lost stocks because his move didn't connect in time. The neutral B just didn't grab his opponent before before it would connect and he'd be able to get some damage on board. Instead of going for that neutral B as an approach option to try and set up for more damage, now he's using things like down air or like forward air. He's using moves that are just a little bit faster, and he's getting there quicker, and they're landing before Matt Beach can throw out those heavy hitboxes. Those forward smashes that we saw in game number 1 that Matt Beach was landing and armoring through moves that Dwysar was using, they aren't landing anymore because Dwysar's just getting there faster.
Okay, not like this is a huge reverse 3 stock, because, you know, Matt Beach is starting this at like 140%, but Dwysar loses his first stock and then does not lose another one. Besides just like solid up tilt up air, solid Yoshi conversions you can rely on. It's just like he plays safe, and he even misses some offstage opportunities. But how does he even take this stock? Oh yeah, just with a nice run up smash. He's really looking for everything he can get. And it's like, yeah, that's the kind of situation where Kazuya's sort of saying like, hey, I'm in this zone, I can air dodge to platform, or I can air dodge to the ground. You don't really know where I'm gonna go. But yeah, that's kind of a thing. Because, possibly he meant to land on the platform. But even so, Yoshi's up smash does hit high enough that likely would have ended his stock anyway. But yeah, oh my god. So yeah, just Dwysar is played defense, took the kills where he needed them, and it got pretty scary for him. Like, just being at 86, like, you can honestly just, like, look at any of these strange little moments where it's like, look at Matt Beach right here. Like, he's throwing out something right before that up tilt just, like, intercepts it. And, like, that's what Dwyer has been doing, like you were saying. They're throwing out, like, slightly quicker options. Like, they're really the kind of options he needs to be going for to be safe.
Small battlefield, the site of game number 3. Winner of this game wins the match for their school. Will it be Matt Beach or will it be Dwyer? We'll have to see. Dwyer's at a little bit of a percent deficit to start this. We saw, you know, those quick options come in clutch for Dwyer in game number 2, but if Matt Beach gets that one combo starter, you can see all the damage is starting to rack up. Dwyer's at 99.9 right now, and still looking to find some chip damage or an opening here on Matt Beach.
Yeah, I mean, last game, it started really early in Matt Beach's favor. It's like maybe, honestly, we might see a reverse kind of adaptation where it's Matt Beach accounts for the fact that Dwyer is going for these slightly faster moves. Because, you know, he still has armor. He has, like, partial intangibility on a lot of moves. But yeah, oh my god, that down smash a little bit risky from Dwyer with Matt Beach only at 77%. I don't know what he could have been hoping to get out of that. But
I do like the idea, though. I mean, you're right. Not sure what he would get out of it, but if it lands, he might put Matt Beach in a type of edge guard situation, but Matt Beach so smart, recognizing he can use the down beat.
You know, getting command grabbed out of the air is definitely lists of characters you don't want to whiff against. People with command grabs that can kill you is just not good, because like even if you have a little bit of time, you can block, and blocking doesn't matter. You know, it's like, this is the gift of command grabs. You're a little bit more plus. You have, all your windows are just longer. Oh my god. Yeah, Dwyer really needs to seal off this stock off Matt Beach quickly if he wants anything to happen. Running in for an up smash. Oh, going in for a down B, looking a little panicked, but honestly, you gotta recognize that up smash did hit his shield, even though Matt Beach didn't get a punish off of it, allowing him to get that clean shield break off the down B.
Those down Bs, the armor through from Matt Beach is doing so much work. That's just gonna be the stock, calling out the jump from Dwyer, and now it's a full stock lead for DePaul.
That is such a strong anti-aerial from Kazuya. I don't know what motion input that is, but that rises with a little bit of invincibility, extremely strong. Someone like Yoshi, who honestly, you know, isn't really trying to use the ground buttons, is going to be in that spot slightly above you all the time. So, you know, this is like kind of that adaptation we were talking about, where it's like, yeah, Yoshi has these slightly, is this extremely extended?
Oh! And that's the stock, and that's the game. Matt Beach finds his one opening and puts this one on ice. DePaul get the victory here in week 14.
Let's see. Has Matt Beach? Yeah, okay, so from the beginning of our clip, let's just restart this. Reset video. I think, yeah, he won there, right? He landed this way back at 27%, and apparently he had already won. Just with a series of guaranteed setups, and what's, you know, honestly just the impressiveness of Kazuya. It's like, keeps hitting you. Oh my god. Wow, a really close showing by Marquette, but it does look like DePaul, even by the skin of their teeth, gets to stay in their position.
A very close set between these two. It was, I mean, I feel like the adaptation here was those down Bs, those moments where, hey, I'm just going to command grab through whatever you throw out. If you're going to beat me with speed, I'm going to meet that with armor. And that gave him so many good advantages. And Dwyer did start something here, start a little bit of that comeback with that shield break, but too little too late here.
Yeah, I actually really love the up smash into immediately, hey, down B, let's do it. Honestly, Matt ran right into it, but it's because you don't realize. You know, if you don't realize, like, oh yeah, Yoshi up smash into down B is probably some sort of true combo into a shield break. Like, in terms of shield damage. But yeah, let's look at whatever this move is called. 'Cause like, what is he counteracting here? Is it just a back air? Just like dashes in and hits it, takes the trade. Just like a nice anti-aerial, exactly what he needed there. Exactly what's gonna counter-pick Yoshi in that situation.
Yeah, and it's like you said, Yoshi wants to kind of be in that space. That's their combo starter. They can either use all the hits of back air to get a lot of knockback, or they can try and get that kind of drag down to possibly follow up. That's where Yoshi wants to be, and Matt Beach knew it in that moment. And then, like you said, the pickup there, he hit him at 27%. And the game was over because of it.
I really can't get over that this entire clip is his finishing combo. Like okay, Dweiser got a jab in there. He had something. He had a moment. He could have jumped away. I don't know if Matt Beach just saw that coming. But, he took a stock and just ran away with it. That was no way Dweiser was expecting this at 27. All the conversation we've had about expecting when your opponent can actually kill you so you can make risk-reward decisions. Do you think Dweiser start going for a jab there was going to end his life?
No, not at all. And it ended up being the wrong decision, I guess. So Matt Beach, he gets the 2-stock victory there in game number 3. So your final score in this one, DePaul 16, Marquette 13. One of the closest sets we've seen all year, but DePaul, they come out on top. They advance now to 13-1, and they are still, if tiebreakers play out the right way, in the number 1 overall spot. But they still got to win that conference playoffs when those come around at the end of the regular season. Marquette, they are in this conference, but another conference loss means that they are towards the bottom half of that conference, so a potential first-round matchup for them is Marquette. And if this is how the first round is going to play out, I'm excited to see what will happen. Marquette, they fall to 5-9, and they get Sacramento State next week.
Yeah, no, honestly,
With that being said, I think we're going to jump to a... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, there's 3 weeks left. It feels like, people are bringing their A game. I think it's just really cool to see Marquette coming from such a more middling position and bring this so close, because it really seemed like there were a lot of DePaul seemed to have their A team this week, and that didn't make it any harder. Usually for a team that usually has such a high point differential, this was a really great game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This was very close, and for DePaul, like you said, they brought out a lot of those key players, and it was still very close. Goes to show how tight that Central Conference really is. That being said, we're going to jump to a short break here at EGF SSBU. We're going to see if we can possibly get an interview with one of the DePaul players, and maybe we'll get ready for that next match. But that is all after a short intermission. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the EGFC. We are here with Matt Beach after their victory over Marquette in a close 16-13 match. And Matt Beach, you in particular, you had to go in that final set where it was all on the line. So, I mean, what was your mindset going into that set?
I mean, it was a little bit nerve-wracking just because I'm not super used to being like the anchor position on the team. I'm usually the kind of guy that either goes in like early on or maybe like occasionally in like the middle. Like having me as like the last player is usually not super common, especially since I play like a character that like can at least occasionally get counterpicked pretty hard. So it was definitely a little bit of like uncertainty, but I mean, you know, I've been admittedly like playing a little bit more lately, so I've been feeling a little bit sharper, or at least like warmed up with my gameplay. So there was still like that fact that I could have in the back pocket that was just like, all right, you know, like even though I'm in like a pressure situation, like I know my stuff, I know my combos, I've been feeling a little bit more polished lately. I should be okay as long as I just play to my strengths. So that was kind of the mindset that I tried to go in with.
Yeah, I guess for your match in particular, how do you feel about the Kazuya-Yoshi matchup? Did you feel prepared for that? Do you feel like he played as if he was prepared for Kazuya?
I would give it a clean sorta on either end. I could tell that they were looking way sharper in like terms of like what kind of ranges to stay away from in regards to Kazuya starting game 2. I feel like what a lot of people do against Kazuya, and I'm not afraid to just throw my character knowledge out there, is that like they'll try to hit him before he can hit you, and that's usually not what you should be doing. You're supposed to be like baiting and punishing him. So I know. So game 1, it was very much just like you know, they'd be kind of like closing in, trying to get like a bunch of like boxing options or like landing aerials or something, and that's like prime time for Kazuya to just go to Combo City. So as far as like me getting ready for Yoshi, it was kind of awkward. I've never been really good against Yoshi in particular, regardless of which character I play, just because I don't know, I find his movement really tricky. But I mean, one of my team members, Akana, like made sure to like tell me, like remind me, like, hey, look, just stick to the ground, don't even bother like challenging him in the air. And that came in clutch a lot more so starting game 2. So you know, it was much more of like, I would say for both of our ends, it was much more of a matter of like adapting to one another.
Yeah, it certainly seemed the case. I'm curious too. You know, last season we saw you go almost exclusively Mega Man, and Kazuya feels like a very different character. So how has that kind of transition been for you?
It's been pretty smooth actually. I've told this on stream before, but basically like me and a few of my friends, Poof, Dudu-chan, and then VidRocker25 from Chicago's Smash Ultimate scene, we decided, hey, the next DLC character that comes out, we're gonna main them for like 1 week and see what happens. And then a character ended up being Kazuya. This was like back last year. So it was kind of like accidental that I started playing this character more, but in hindsight, it doesn't feel that weird because I would say that like Ryu was my best character back in Smash 4. And that was the character that like Kazuya feels like he embodies a lot of that same like style of like, you know, grounded neutral, like a lot of like really beefy hitboxes, really huge like robbery factor. So a lot of that just still sort of felt at home to me, and it eventually got to a point where I was like, you know, I legit feel more confident with like this character than I do with Mega Man. It feels more at home. So it was a bit of a process at first, but it ended up being a lot more quick, I'd say, than a lot of people would come to expect.
Okay, yeah, because switching characters is always kind of a big deal for like, you know, how confident you're going to go into it.
Yeah.
How do you feel about like DePaul losing their first match last week and this match being very close and just like going on into the future for these last few weeks of the league?
I'm glad that it's happening now because at the risk of sounding like I'm bragging, we already have like a really huge lead in terms of like match wins and points. So I think if there's any point for us to lose, be like humbled in a lot of ways, or at the very least like kind of like be brought down to the ground and be like, all right, let's like get back into that like focusing mindset. Now is definitely a really good time before we get to like before we get right to the ends of the season. So, you know, I've said a lot already that like this has been a huge season of like experimentation for a lot of our players. We've seen a lot of character swaps, roster swaps, stuff like that. So I'm really, really confident in the fact that we're going to keep figuring things out moving forward. And especially by the time we hit the end of the season, I think it's going to be lights out.
Okay, yeah, I feel like that's a really great way to look at it. Just like, because there's one time to not be overconfident. Like, this is it.
Yeah.
Next week, you guys get Hawaii, and I believe that is your last kind of in-conference matchup before, well, the end of the regular season and the conference playoffs. What's the game plan look like for a matchup against Hawaii?
So we've played Hawaii before, and we're definitely used to their. We definitely have a good idea of like their roster, at least like their character pool by this point. So I think we'll definitely be prepared on that end. I think it's really going to come down to how well we can get all of our players to be warmed up and ready to play, especially since next week is going to be finals time for a lot of our players because DePaul is on like a quarter system. So we're reaching the end of our spring quarter, or our winter quarter, sorry. So that's going to be a little bit tight, I think. But, you know, we're the kind of players that's like, you know, if we know what we're getting into, then it doesn't take too long, I think, for us to get like comfortable and get like ready to go. So you know, as long as we can get that figured, as long as we can get sorted out, like our schedules, be able to warm up properly, I think it's going to be A-okay.
Going into the finals, what schools are you guys most worried about? Or like,
I mean, there's so many, there's like a lot of like really, really strong teams by this point in EGF. I mean, obviously, like Colorado is a fantastic school. They were able to end our undefeated streak both last year and this year during the main season. So just goes to show that they've always had like a strong matchup against us. Mississippi, of course, another like classic, really, really strong team at this point. George Washington University is really, really good. As we can see, Marquette has quite a few like really, really strong players that I think any single team has to really be on the lookout for. You know, there's just a lot of really, really good teams, especially those not in, like, you know, our conference that we haven't even been able to play this season yet. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be really exciting going into the finals, seeing, like, what kind of teams we can go up against, how we're able to prepare for these brand new matchups, especially in the case of, like, UT Arlington, for example, that we've never even played, like, in the previous seasons because they're one of the newer teams. So, yeah, very, very exciting.
Very exciting indeed. And our last question for you before we let you go, is there anyone you would like to shout out or thank while you have the microphone?
Yeah. Huge shout outs to pretty much all of the Gaming Center moderators for being able to keep the place relatively clear whenever we have any of our players playing in there for your EGF matches. We don't have the whole team in there today. A lot of us are at home, as you can see. I'm not at the Gaming Center today, but you know, every single week there's at least a few people playing in there, and the Gaming Center mods are really, really good at making sure that like everything is like clear, that the players are able to focus, and it doesn't go for just Smash, goes for like pretty much all of our esports as well. Also, huge shout outs to Maggie for being super, super helpful for me throughout the course of the day. I've had a very busy schedule with my finals and my presentations and such to go through, and she's been super, super helpful with making sure, you know, everything gets done, keeping me grounded myself. So huge shout outs. And then, of course, finally, biggest shout outs, of course, to every single person that's a part of the Dismash community, whether you're a student or a non-student. We get so much high level like regular practice around like from players around the Chicagoland area. It's really, really helped our team and our community grow to be stronger, and we wouldn't be able to be playing so well without them.
All right, thank you so much for joining us, Matt Beach, and we will see you guys next week when you guys take on Hawaii. Congratulations on your victory, and we'll see you there.
Thanks. See you around.
Yeah, it was great talking to you. Congratulations on the win.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, and with that, we will be cutting to a short break to get ready for our next match. Again, the final of this one, DePaul 16, Marquette 13, and we will be right back to get ready for our next match, Iona versus St. Peter's, the Gales and the Peacocks, after the break. Don't touch that dial now, we're just getting started.